Have you ever been in the car with your partner and the directions go like this? She says, "Turn left after the big tree." He says, "What tree? Just give me the street name." Or he's watching TV and she asks, "Are you even listening to me?" And his reply is, "Of course I am." But then he repeats absolutely nothing she said. If you ever experienced this, congratulations! You have just stepped into the hilarious world of Allan and Barbara's bestsellers, Why Men Don't Listen and Women Can't Read Maps. This book explains with science and humor why men and women sometimes feel like they're from completely different planets. And today, we are going to explore those differences, laugh about them, and most importantly, learn how to actually use them to make our relationship better. The science behind the differences. Let's start with the brain. Science shows that man and woman's brain are wired differently. Men usually have stronger spatial skills. They are good at reading maps, parking cars, or imagining how furniture fits in a room. Women have stronger verbal and memory skills. They remember faces, details, and emotions. Think about this. A man might rotate a 3D map in his head like a GPS, but he'll struggle to find the ketchup in the fridge, even if it's right in front of him. A woman, on the other hand, will remember what you wore on your very first date 5 years ago, down to the color of your socks. Why? Because men evolved as hunters, focusing on chasing prey. Women evolved as gatherers, remembering landmarks and details. Our modern brains are still carrying that ancient wiring. Why men don't listen? Here's the part many women will not along to. Men don't seem to listen. Imagine this. A husband is watching football. The wife asks, "Did you pay the bills?" Silence. She repeats. Silence again. Finally, he turns and says, "Why are you yelling at me?" This isn't because men don't care, it's because men's brains are designed to focus on one thing at a time. When a man is locked into a task, it's like his ears shut off. In prehistoric times, that intense focus helped him hunt without distraction. So, ladies, here's a tip. If you want him to listen, don't shout from another room. Walk up, make eye contact, and then speak. He'll hear you. Why women can't read maps? Now let's balance the scales. Women are famously teased for not reading maps as well as men. Here's how it usually plays out. A man says go north for 2 blocks, then turn east. A woman says go past the bakery, then turn left at the pink house with flowers in the yard. Both are correct, but completely different approaches. Why? Men evolved navigating long distancing while hunting. Women as gatherers needed to remember where the berry bush was or which tree had fruit, so they used landmarks. Fast forward today, this is why arguments in the car are legendary. He's following the campus, she's following the bakery. Multitasking versus focus. Let's talk about multitasking. Men are usually single tasker. They can drive or talk or change music, not all three at once. Women, on the other hand, can stir a pot on the stove, talk on the phone, help with the homework simultaneously. Again, this comes from evolution. Men were hunters, deep focus was survival. Women were gatherers and caretakers, juggling many tasks for survival. But here's the funny twist. When women multitask, men sometimes say, "You are not paying attention to me." The truth is, she's paying attention to 5 things at once, including you. Memory and communication. Now comes one of the most favorite part, memory and communication. Women remember details. A woman can recall exactly what you said at dinner 3 months ago. A man, he can barely remember what he had for breakfast today. And here's the big difference in communication. Men talk to solve problems, women talk to connect emotionally. Here's a classic fight example. Woman, I just need to vent about my boss today. Man, you should quit your job. Woman, I don't need a solution, I just need you to listen. Sound familiar? Men thinks they are being helpful, but women often just want empathy. So, how do we use these insights instead of fighting about them? Tips for men: don't rush to solve her problems. Sometimes she just wants understanding. When she talks, look at her. Eye contact matters. Tips for women: if he's focused, wait before jumping in with a question. Be clear and direct when you want something specific. The magic happens when we stop blaming and start understanding. Men aren't broken, women aren't difficult. We are just wired differently. So, why don't men listen? It's not because they don't care, it's because they focus deeply. Why can't women read maps? It's not because they're bad drivers, it's because they navigate using landmarks. When you see it this way, the differences aren't annoying, they are actually funny. Instead of arguing, you can laugh and then work with each other's strengths. If you enjoyed this breakdown of why men don't listen and women can't read maps, don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more, and tell me in the comments what's the funniest misunderstanding you have had because of these gender differences. Thanks for watching, and remember, whether you are a north south person or a bakery landmark person, life is much easier when we laugh together.